You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we have a request by Scum Dog. Many of you know Scum Dog, and some of you who may be new will definitely get familiar with him if you come to the streams a lot. Very, very funny guy. And this video, he requested, he wanted me to talk about crazy theories, in particular, the idea of King Ghidorah's brain taking over MechaGodzilla. Now, this is something that a lot of people already think might actually happen, and there's some people who obviously don't think it's going to happen. Maybe King Ghidorah's head will be used for other means, but let's go with this crazy theory. And there are other crazy theories that I have in mind. These are things that are likely not going to happen in the movie or will not happen in the movie at all. So we're going to start off with that theory, but there's going to be another theory that I kind of want to throw in there because Scumdog wants me to talk about crazy theories. So, and just so you know, if you're a member, you are obviously entitled to video requests. It doesn't matter what tier you're on. But if you're not a member, don't worry. If you have a video request, just let me know. The only difference between a member and a subscriber is that the members obviously will get priority as we go down the list, but definitely always sound off in the comments if there's a certain topic you want me to cover, Godzilla related or not. Sorry about that. My phone's going off. All right. So the idea of King Ghidorah's brain taking over MechaGodzilla. Now, this is actually a slight possibility, especially when you consider what we've already learned about the movie and some of the images we've seen, in particular the one of Ren Serizawa in what looks to be like a cockpit that is a skull and is King Ghidorah's skull. Now, whether or not that skull is actually attached to MechaGodzilla or he's using that in a way to kind of connect it to MechaGodzilla and somewhat control him from there, who knows? I am hoping that MechaGodzilla has some sort of, like he's autonomous, like he doesn't necessarily need to be controlled by a person. Now, if you put King Ghidorah's brain in there, this would mean that they would have had to have found a way to keep King Ghidorah's brain fresh. I mean, we already know it's been confirmed more or less that the head has all but rotted away, I should say. And yeah, it's pretty crazy because if you look at that image with Ren Serizawa, there's a dome above him. And when we were on stream, we were talking about the possibility of that containing King Ghidorah's brain as a way to keep it preserved and then using its sources to feed into MechaGodzilla. And this is why this theory may not be that far-fetched. So this would make sense as to why Godzilla might be going buck wild in this movie. And this might also explain why maybe MechaGodzilla flies off the handle a little bit. You know, maybe we assume we're going to see him at the end of the movie. But if there's an opportunity where he shows up in other parts of the movie, maybe we start to see Ren Serizawa and Apex start to lose control of him a little bit. And he makes a beeline for Godzilla in many different scenarios. So it's definitely a cool, crazy theory, and I don't think it's one that's far-fetched. If anything, while I don't think it's 100% certain it's going to go down like that, I do think it's a viable theory. Now, some other crazy theories I've had regarding this movie that I really haven't made videos on yet, but I'm kind of going to talk about it here. Alien activity, not alien activity, but rather alien influence. Now, we know the movie now takes place 5 years later, and the power creep in this movie in terms of technology is insane. If you look at the most recent TV spot, there is a shot of one of the heaves heading towards Godzilla. He blows his atomic breath and the heave turns, and it's got like this colorful shield going around it. And, you know, what if there's this crazy, crazy theory that there is some sort of alien influence, not necessarily very direct. You know, let's say, for example, the Zillions are influencing Apex, providing Apex with this technology to make them think they're gaining some sort of advantage. But in actuality, what the Zillions want to do is use Apex as a catalyst to get rid of the Titans before their invasion. It's a crazy theory. It's probably not going to happen. But could you imagine when you consider how popular the Zillions were in the Toho-verse, it would be kind of cool if they were actually pulling the strings behind Apex. I mean, you got to admit that technology is pretty lit right now. And even though it's 5 years later, I mean, that's a pretty big leap when you go from the Argo to these little, Super X looking ships that have these colorful shields going around it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll see if I can grab a picture while I'm recording this, but go back and watch that trailer, the recent one, the TV spot, I should say. And Godzilla is shooting his breath. You see, Alex Skarsgård's character and everybody else in the ship go like this. You see the bright light, and then it cuts to the heave, and you see the heave kind of turn. And as it's turning, there's this colorful shield going around it. Pretty incredible technology. So that's really the only crazy theory I've had other than the idea of MechaGodzilla being disguised. I am still sticking with that. Like I said, just to have it on record, okay? Because I do think there's still an outside chance of that, especially after watching some of the last trailers. There's some other things that I've noticed, but again, people seem to be very offended or very upset by that theory. So I'm just going to let it marinate where it is on my channel. And if it so happens to happen, boy, it's going to be an epic gloat. It's going to be an epic gloat. And if it doesn't happen, then that's okay, because we all knew I was wrong anyway, right? So, but yeah, there's a lot of other crazy things that can happen in this movie. I mean, we haven't even talked about the Hollow Earth and some of the things down there. There's a crazy theory that I had way back when, and even high flyers can kind of attest to this because we were kind of on the same page here, that there is one huge secret Titan that we know nothing about that's actually going to, I'm talking beyond King Ghidorah, beyond MechaGodzilla, that we would see in another movie. And this huge Titan, this one Titan, is the one causing problems. This is the one that is responsible for the possibility that the Hollow Earth could actually come to the surface like Skull Island did. We know this is a confirmed story element. So, but that is, I'm just kind of adding to that theory, but this theory basically was about a huge serpent-like creature that exists, and this started from the end credit scene of King of the Monsters, where they show what looks like an eel or like a serpent. It's basically an eel, which I'm theorizing, crazy mad scientist theory, that they're just using as an image. But when you see this eel, this image of the eel, it says top secret, like clearance 8 needed. And the reason we kind of were looking at this and having fun with it in this theory was because if you look at all the other creatures, all the other Titans that they classify, a lot of them require a clearance of 5, including King Ghidorah. So this one had a clearance level of 8. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch the end of King of the Monsters. They show it really fast, but you should be able to pause it and you'll see it says clearance 8, top secret. So again, that could have just been a nice little Easter egg they wanted to put in there. It has no link to the Monsterverse. We're well aware of that, but this was something that we discussed. And a lot of times, I just like to have these things on record. That way, if they do play out, at least I can say, hey, I noticed it. Here it is. This is me on record saying it. So that's usually a lot of times why I make these crazy theories. If I see one little element that's a possibility, I do run with it and I get it on video and I'm like, okay, it's on record. Now, nobody can say that I didn't predict it or that I didn't talk about it or that I didn't talk about the possibility. So, but anyway, those are some crazy theories. I mean, the Ghidorah brain in MechaGodzilla is something that people have been talking about and still speculating. I think that is a slight possibility. Zillions, obviously, probably not going to happen, but the idea of aliens influence Apex by providing them advanced technology and the ability to build MechaGodzilla and then actually have it function, and them using Apex as a catalyst to kind of get rid of the Titans, so that clears the way for them to bringing maybe another Titan that Earth's Titans can't defend against, like Gigan, you know what I mean? So, just crazy stuff that, maybe some of us could dream about what happened. We know it wouldn't happen, but just an alternate direction that the movie could be taken in. But obviously, throwing in aliens is a little bit, I think we've gotten to the over the top limit with MechaGodzilla. Anything beyond that is really, really, really going over the top. I wouldn't be against it, but again, we have to kind of balance that. We do want the general audience to love these movies if we want them to continue. So, but just having some fun. So, yeah. those are some crazy theories. Do you have any crazy theories? Anything that you think that you kind of in the back of your head, you kind of like to see it, but you know you won't? Let me know in the comments, man. I want to hear some of you guys' crazy theories. I mean, again, this is stuff that you know won't happen, but you kind of just, you run with it in your brain just to kind of see how it might play out. I'd love to hear it, man. I really would. So let me know in the comment section. Until next video, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.